guys, so today's video is going to be a collaboration with my friend Chris from Sandland. And guys, we're going to be bringing to you from the house of Valentino, and that is Valentino V Pour Homme. So I actually got a little decant here. Man, I got like 2 or 3 other decants of the same fragrance. Chris, on the other hand, is a very lucky man. He's got 2 bottles. But this scent was launched in 2006. But before I get into anything, before I say another word, Chris, why don't you start this off, okay?
Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome, Chris, here with a fragrance review collaboration with Chad. What a tremendous pleasure, Chad. Thanks for inviting me for this transatlantic, over the big ocean type of review. Obviously, I'm situated in Europe, and we're going to be looking today at a European fragrance coming from Italy, from the house of Valentino, and which was founded by the great designer Valentino Garavani and made its international debut in 1962, I think it was, and actually Valentino quickly rose to international fame with his unmistakably Italian style, dressing up people like Audrey Hepburn, Elizabeth Taylor, or Princess Margaret, for example. And Valentino came out obviously after a while with his own fragrance line, out of which I remember Vendetta in the early 90s, or Very Valentino in the late 90s. And in 2006, they released the fragrance called V, or Valentino V Pour Homme. Victory or Valentino, right? This fantastic looking purple juice. In 2006, it hit the shelves. You can see the V is in front and the Valentino is in the back. Or is Valentino in the back and V in the front? I don't know. Depends how you look at it. Fantastic looking juice, actually, this purple stuff. And it's a heavy glass bottle. And what you get is a very much Italian style, delicious, yummy, seductive, sweet fragrance. It achieves this with tones of, with ingredients of vanilla, pink pepper, basil, maybe a little bit of basil, some citruses, cacao, right? And woodiness of sandalwood, cedar wood, and a slightly bit of patchouli maybe in there as well. It makes this whole combination a fragrance that comes across as a fragrance that you would use for special occasions, in my opinion. For occasions when you want to attract people. When you want to attract the same or the other sex, you know, when you want to have positive attention. This is a fragrance that will never you will never have anyone to say this smells bad, right? This is just so nice, so Italian, so well-mannered, yet it's a bit, you know, it's still, you know, the projection and ensilage is in my opinion, is quite heavy. So if you do your 4 or 5 sprays on this one, it's going to get you noticed, right? And the longevity is great as well. Easy on the trigger, I would still say, because it has a sort of sticky quality due to the sweetness maybe. It's quite natural, but it has a synthetic touch to it. And the stickiness is a result of the sweetness and the slight syntheticness. So if you overuse it, use it too much, or use it for a long period of time, then it can get a bit sticky, cloying, to me at least, right? But this is why I would use it for occasions like dinner, going to the opera, clubbing, stuff like this, when you want to get positive attention from people, because everybody is a compliment getter, right? Everybody would say this smells fantastic, and it does not smell. It's almost gourmand, but it doesn't smell like most of the gourmands. This has its own Italian vibe standing on its own feet. So it is a special juice. It's out of production, rarely available. I have this 100 ml and this 50 ml here. Little brother, look at this. Very nice. And the whole presentation is fantastic. Very Italian. I love the Italianness of this fragrance. And age-wise, I'd really recommend this to anyone. Like a guy in his 50s can wear it, guy in his 20s can wear it. It's not as much as a signature scent as a special occasion scent. But other than that, there's no restrictions to this fragrance, right? Definitely a great addition to the Valentino line. And as it's standing or sitting here in my hand, I think it's quite timeless as well, because it has this sole purpose of seduction, and is not following necessarily any trend. Even you have this sweet gourmand feel about it. It is. I think the marketing was all about, like, it's sent for Casanova, right? The great grand seducer. It's something like this, really. I think it will go down in fragrance history as an evergreen, classy fragrance. Although it's not available, it's rarely available. There is a fragrance, Arabic fragrance. I'm not going to mention the name because against my principle, but that's a copy of this one. The quality of this is much better. If you can check it on Fragrantic what I'm talking about. But V Pour Homme from Valentino stands on his own feet. Great. It's a fragrance for seduction. Fragrance for seduction, and I hope you agree, Chad, on this. Let me know your comments, and I'm very curious, Chad, what you're saying about this, how you like this, and how it's available over there in Canada. Here it's rarely available, but I think it's becoming less and less available all over the world. It was a tremendous pleasure to introduce you to this juice, a very special juice from Italy, from Valentino Garavani, very much Italian. It was a pleasure. Saluti migliori a voi tutti. Ci vediamo dopo. That was Chris from Sandland with this fantastic cooperation with Chad. A gentleman's journey, right? You're a true gentleman, Chad. Hugs from Budapest. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon. Chris from Sandland.
All right, thanks, brother. Thank you very much for doing this video. Now, the notes for this fragrance, there's a lot of notes for this one. So, top notes: pink pepper, tamarind, mandarin orange, bergamot, and basil, with the mid being sandalwood, amber, musk, cedar, and mace. Mace, okay. So the base is patchouli, vanilla, jasmine, heliotrope, cumin, cacao, and ambergris. Now, I do get a lot of sandalwood, vanilla, which really does add a lot of the sweetness. I get a little bit of the cacao that I find adds a little bit of that sexiness. So cacao and vanilla, I find, are very sexy notes. But I also get some of the florals and a little bit of the basil. So it does have some green feel to it, but it really doesn't last very long. So as Chris stated, this is a Casanova scent. So that's what, according to Fragrantica, it's marketed as. It does have a very sexy, seductive sort of feel. It is playful in my opinion, but it's also pretty classy. Now, Casanova is, if you're not familiar with history, and I really am not too familiar with the gentleman himself, but he was the master of seduction. He made women feel very special, and in the end, he got a little bit of something something else. Apparently he also wasn't the best looking guy. Hey, right here. But it does come across as very playful and sexy and sensuous. But even though it's marketed as Casanova, I don't think that this is a fuckboy type of scent. Now, please forgive my language on that one. And what I mean by fuckboy is that a frat boy, somebody who just goes to the club and wants to get a little bit of pum pum. This scent is not really that. This does come across as, yes, sensuous and sexy, but I find it's also a very classy scent. It is very versatile, but it's a very playful scent that I find it's more so for going out, dates, not clubs. You can wear this to the club, but I think it's more of a date scent. Suit and tie, something where you do have to dress up a little bit, and something where it requires you to stand out a little bit, because this scent will definitely stand out. This does get comparisons to, as Chris didn't want to mention the name, Rasasi Darej, and I do have a decant of that one. They do smell pretty close, but this one is blended a little bit better. I would say that this is more of a winter and fall scent. Unfortunately, this is discontinued, meaning that the price tag is way overboard. Man, I'm going to say it. People don't like it when I say it. It's extortion. The asking rate for this is extortion. Yes, it is getting very difficult to find this, but I think it was like for a 50 and a 100 ml is going for over $200. I was on, and that's on eBay. And for a 30 ml, I think 30 ml bottle fragrances are the best size for my taste now, because I have so many bottles that I'll never finish any of them, and I just like having a smaller bottle. but $150+. Like, are you kidding me? Longevity was great. I got 8 to 10 hours. Projection was a little bit under par. I generally get 2-3 hours on most fragrances. This was only about an hour to maybe an hour and a half. So it's more of a skin scent after that. I would also state that what I would use this one for, yes, I said going out, date, formal. But this is also a very close quarter type of scent, really. It does have a very seductive and alluring quality. The lady, my fiance, she really did like this. She did say it was sexy, but she had a difference of opinion. And she stated that to her nose, it really wasn't playful, but difference of opinion. I personally, I really do like it. Now, when I first got this fragrance, I thought it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Not so much anymore. I still like it a lot. Like, I would have given this like a 10 out of 10, a 5 out of 5, but I'm more so going for like a 4 out of 5 or an 8 out of 10. That's still a very, very solid release. But I guess it's just, for me, it's not as great as it once was, but yeah, if you can get yourself a bottle for a good price. But yeah, like, this is more decant worthy to my nose now. Like, if I can get a little bit more of a decant, maybe like 20 mLs, yeah. But I still think it's a very solid scent. You know, if you like your sexy, alluring type of scents that will definitely get you some attention from the ladies, this will definitely do it. So, Chris, thank you very much for participating. I really do appreciate you being on board of this video. Guys, that is our review of Valentino V Pour Homme. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Share the video. Subscribe to Chris if you haven't done so. His information will be down below, guys. Thank you, and take care.